We begin tonight with the latest on Tropical Storm Isaac. I'm Terri. Brewer. Lynn Brooks is on assignment tonight. We've got all aspects of this story covered, from how the Alabama coast is preparing, and we'll be checking in with Daniel Sparkman in the WVUA Weather Center with the latest on what this could mean weather-wise for Alabama. First, though, we begin our top story at 5, where Isaac is already brewing up some trouble. We have some video from the Dominican Republic where waves are already crashing. People in Haiti are concerned. Even if Isaac doesn't hit at hurricane strength, Haiti is still struggling after the devastating earthquake in 2010. With the latest on Isaac and what he could mean for the Gulf Coast and Alabama, here's Daniel Sparkman with Alabama's home team weather.
Thanks, Terri. Yeah, we are still watching Tropical Storm Isaac, now churning off the southern coast of the island of Hispaniola off of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, now at 65-mile-per-hour sustained winds, so now getting into a strong tropical storm down there. This is a Hurricane Hunter aircraft. They're still flying around down there trying to determine exactly how strong it is, getting different measurements in the upper 50s and into the mid and upper 60s as well. Also, we are looking at the latest path that came out as of 4 o'clock, has 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which is hurricane strength. That pressure is dropping, which is indication that the storm is getting stronger, and the latest forecast model from the National Hurricane Center has it going into Dothan area by 1 o'clock on Wednesday as a tropical storm. So the models are still shifting around a bit. I'll show you those coming up in home team weather, but we're having to keep a close eye on this over the weekend, and we'll have a better forecast in just a little while.
Here in Alabama, Governor Robert Bentley says state officials are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Isaac and will decide later if drastic measures like reversing the interstate highway lanes or ordering massive evacuations are needed. Bentley also says if Isaac appears to threaten Alabama, he will stay in the state and cancel plans next week to go to Tampa for the Republican National Convention. And in New York City, New York's police commissioner says officers had absolutely no choice to fire at a man who had just shot and killed a former co-worker near the Empire State Building this morning. The police commissioner says surveillance video shows the shooter pulling out a pistol and pointing it at officers who drew their weapons and fired 14 rounds, killing the man. 9 passers-by were wounded in today's gunfire, some by stray police bullets. All of them are expected to survive. Now the latest on this year's West Nile outbreak. Alabama officials say the state has now recorded 1 death with 12 official cases total. The state health department says the man who died from West Nile was a man in Montgomery County who was over 60 years old. 6 of the cases this summer have been in Montgomery County, 3 cases in Mobile County, and 1 case each in Baldwin, Jefferson, and Tuscaloosa counties. The Centers for Disease Control say this year is now the largest outbreak of West Nile virus, and Texas is considered the heart of the outbreak. A week from today, thousands of Crimson Tide fans are headed there for the opening game of the Alabama football season. Doctors say the good news is if you were to get bit by an infected mosquito, 80% of people never even have any symptoms. 20% of people have symptoms like fever and nausea. Only 1 out of 150 people have severe symptoms. A U.S. senator from Texas says her state is taking measures to keep the spread of West Nile under control.
Well, they have started doing aerial spraying. That was a tough decision for the officials, but they decided that 18 deaths in this area, 218 cases. It was just too much, and they decided to do it, and therefore I think we are beginning to get it under control, but it has been a nightmare, really.
Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, you'll hear from a tourism official in Arlington, Texas for more in-depth information about what the state is doing to help keep residents and visitors safe from West Nile. And speaking of football, it's almost here. We have the official countdown to the first game of the season, which will be played at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas against the University of Michigan on Saturday, September 1st. It is now 8 days, 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 42 seconds, now 41 seconds until the first game of the season, something lots of Alabama fans are counting down to. And don't forget, Alabama's home team station is your place for football action this fall. Next Friday, a week from today, we will premiere a brand new season of Football Friday after WVUA News at 10 on Friday nights. We'll bring you all the high school football action in West Alabama. Then on Saturday mornings, join us for Crimson Tide kickoff live from the University of Alabama campus. It's the best way to get your football Saturday started. That's only on WVUA, Alabama's home team. Officers are still investigating after a truck fire closed part of Interstate 2059 last night. It happened just before 8 o'clock near the 79-mile marker going northbound. Troopers say a fire burned the majority of the vehicle. No one was injured in the fire. When it happened, traffic was backed up for miles. The Tuscaloosa Magnet Schools are working toward offering an international baccalaureate program. The Tuscaloosa City School Board Superintendent and the two magnet school principals discussed this at last night's open work session. The IB program puts students in an international core curriculum. School officials say expanding the program will call for extra classes and teachers. The Magnet School elementary principal says she feels confident the superintendent will make sure the schools are provided with what's needed.
The last thing we need to become a worldwide primary years program is the art, the music, and the Spanish year-round. And so he was saying, we're willing to give you what you need to become authorized.
The principals hope to have everything submitted for authorization by this fall. The IB program is currently offered to 11th and 12th graders at Central High School. Well, there's been lots of attention on the health of the real estate market over the past few years, both nationally and here in Alabama. Today, the Alabama Center for Real Estate hosted the first West Alabama Real Estate Summit at the Bryant Conference Center. The summit focused on both commercial and residential real estate. The executive director of the Alabama Center for Real Estate says sales are improving in the Tuscaloosa area and that the market is responding to the recovery.
Residential sales are improving in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be a gradual improvement. We know this way as opposed to going straight up, but the market is responding, and the recovery is on.
The Alabama Center for Real Estate is based at the University of Alabama. Well, it's a big weekend for music lovers in Tuscaloosa. One of the most well-known blues legends ever will be playing at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater tomorrow. The concert featuring the Tedeschi Trucks Band and B.B. King will start at 7 p.m. Saturday. Tickets are still available. They start at $25 each. And a week from today, on August 31st, Chicago and Kool and the Gang kick off the big Labor Day weekend. For more information about this concert and others at the amphitheater, go to our website, WVUATV.com. From there, just click numbers and links.